Hello everybody, it's Sanir, engineer, MBA, and investor. And in today's video, I want to talk about CRISPR Therapeutics, latest news, latest upcoming update today. At the end of the day, we'll get some updates for CRISPR Therapeutics. But I also want to talk about something I saw from CRISPR Therapeutics CEO's interview last week. And I also want to talk about ARK Invest's latest moves when it comes to genomics, biotech / CRISPR companies. Now, before we do that, before we even dive deep into today's video, you guys know the drill. Do like this video, smash that like button, destroy that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. It really does help the channel, so thank you so much for the support. So CRISPR Therapeutics, as some of you know, this is actually the first company we've covered in this channel. We started out covering this company throughout a few videos. It was a few video series. If I recall, this was back in March of 2021. And I really went all the way onto diving deep and listening to what the CEO, Dr. Sam, had to say about the company. And there's a latest interview that sort of got my attention, and I want to talk about that. But before I even do that, look at the price chart, guys. $102 a share. That's even less than what we peaked earlier this year at $220 a share. This company has been down almost 55% from its all-time highs. Biotech as a general, right? Genomics, biotech as a general has been down since earlier this year. I've heard and I've read somewhere that it's the longest bear market for biotech companies. I strongly believe we are in for a huge bull run to come. When will that be? I don't know. I don't provide financial advice. You guys have to do your own research. I'm just stating the facts, right? So company's been really hammered, just like every other company. So I think there's something boiling up here. I really do think, especially when you see Cathie Wood buying Teladoc, CRISPR, and at a lot of shares, okay? This is a lot of shares, right? We're looking at 212,000 shares of Teladoc throughout their funds, and also almost 250,000 shares of CRISPR Therapeutics. That's a lot of money, guys. That is definitely a lot of money. They announced that yesterday at closing time, and this is quite interesting because today there's actually at 4:30, October 12th, 2021, CRISPR Therapeutics is expected to highlight data from CTX 110. Right, again, just a high level overview here. This program is with what we call CAR-T, and that is, if we read here, a wholly allogenic chimeric antigen receptor T-cell investigational therapy targeting CD19 for the treatment of relapse or refractory B-cell malignancies. So it's definitely the CAR-T program, and they're expected to highlight data. And just before today, basically yesterday, Cathie Wood went on to buy a lot of shares. Now, we can speculate, we can say whatever we want. Again, we don't provide financial advice, but there has to be something there. Or it could be the fact that the company's been down way, I actually think it dropped on over $100 last week. This is quite unheard of, right? For a company of this magnitude in CRISPR, you can make the argument that they're overvalued. You can make the argument that CRISPR companies don't have any commercial products yet. And my response to that, is to this transcript on Seeking Alpha. Watch this, guys. This was an interview last week, okay, October 4th, okay, and CRISPR Therapeutics CEO, Dr. Sam, look at what he said. So quite a bit going on at the company. We're close to 500 people now. We should have our own manufacturing facility up and running in the next few months. And even in the midst of COVID, we've made tremendous progress and are well positioned to take advantage of the secular growth in cell and gene therapies to bring tremendous benefits to patients. So this isn't the first time that Dr. Sam has mentioned that during COVID, there have been a lot of benefits, right? Less meetings, more virtual meetings, less physical meetings, of course, less traveling, more productivity, find ways to decrease inefficiencies and increase efficiencies. So that reinforces that. But what's really interesting in this interview is what he mentioned here, right? And obviously the interviewer asked him about the FDA regulations, the regulators, and so on. And he said, which are it basically iterates that there's a lot of great data coming out from the current patients on CTX001, which is their leading CRISPR ex vivo approach program. And they said that while we continue discussions with regulators on the exact number of patients required for filing package, I think everything's in the right direction. I think at some point in this year and early next year, we'll provide guidance on exactly what that means in terms of BLA timing. But our partner Vertex has made some comments about potentially filing in the next 12 to 18 months, which are remarkable speed from the beginning of the program to get to that point of BLA for the first CRISPR base medicine. Very interesting. So we know that Vertex owns 60% of 001. This was a revised partnership back in late April, early May, I believe it was, of this year, where Vertex basically paid $900 million cash upfront to CTX001 and CRISPR Therapeutics, and also additional $200 million if it gets FDA approved in the future. So basically $1.1 billion, considering in this channel we're quite bullish on CRISPR and we believe CTX001 will be FDA approved. But what's really important is that he is now talking about BLA timing in the next 12 to 18 months, right? If you just extrapolate that time, that means it is the next year at the end of 2022 or very early in 2023 for BLA timing. Now, what I did here is that what actually BLA actually means, right? And if you read that, is FDA's full approval mechanism for biological products, including therapeutics and vaccine. A company seeking for BLA for its product must demonstrate that the product is safe and that it's pure and potent, which generally means completing a robust, well-controlled clinical trial. So we know CTX001 is still in phase 2. There are many patients, and this is what Dr. Sam here is talking about, that Vertex, their partner, are aiming and gunning for an FDA-approved drug by end of 2022, early 2023. I am so bullish of this. This actually goes around the time frame that I suspected earlier this year. I sort of expected end of 2022, but now it's sort of pushed to early 2023 potentially. But we'll see what happens. I'm quite bullish on this. This is quite amazing news. I strongly believe that Cathie Wood buying this many shares of CRISPR Therapeutics is not out there random. Not only they're undervalued, but there's something coming out by the end of the day. Obviously, we'll cover it tomorrow in our video, but this is really interesting, guys. I'm curious to see what you guys think about what Dr. Sam has to say here. What do you guys think about CRISPR Therapeutics? This is the first gen of CRISPR company. But again, first gen does not mean legacy. It just means they're the first generation of CRISPR Cas9 cuts. Obviously, there's base editing and prime editors, but if we can get CRISPR drug approved here in FDA through CTX001, I think that all these stocks, all these CRISPR companies will skyrocket in valuation. I think this will be amazing for the space, and more importantly, it will be amazing for patients, for sickle cell disease patients, beta thalassemia patients. We'll see what happens, guys, especially after today's program, which obviously is not about the CTA001, but more about the CAR-T program. We'll see what happens with the company. Curious to see what you guys think. Leave me a comment below. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Like this video if you found value from it, and we will see each other tomorrow after the data presentation from CRISPR Therapeutics. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you.